What's going on, guys? This is Super Mike. Finally here. This was actually a lot of research we had to do just to be coherent on this subject. This is a huge subject. What's going on? We're gonna start off with a little vibe here, and I want to start off with Iniko, and she did a retake off of this song by Gunner, Space Cadet. Let's, let's check this out real quick.
I don't gotta say it. You know, I come from outer space here. No Lambo, hop into the spaceship. Let's go, born in the tundra. Ice cold, if you think you know me. You don't, my mood change daily. Scorpio, I'm the next highlight. I'm real bold in the dark, I'm a nightlight. No ghost, real trippy, real scaly siren. Real hot, real flamey, Cayenne. Make waves on the daily trident. And a bull, I'm a lamb, I'm silent. Tell the truth in the booth, no lying. Real high in the clouds, I'm flying. No gold in my mouth, just fire. Third eye got me hearing louder. I have been given a message, whatever you touch, you must bless it. Bless it, bless it. What you feel now is desire. You no more look higher. What you feel now is desire. You no more look higher.
All right, so that was it there. I think that was a Space Cadet, but I wanted to start off with that. This right here is going to be a lot of Terrence Howard, but it's really going to be trying to address some of the stuff that the critics are saying. Now, I don't defend Terrence Howard on everything, but there's a couple of things that he said that we need to go into. And because uh, I've been taught the teachings, and some things are coinciding with what the way we were taught that by the messenger, how things are moving. See, because we don't necessarily believe what's going on, guys. Make sure you guys press the thumbs up, share the message. We're gonna have a lot of information in this particular show. And like I said, if you guys want to come up, you can. But really, I'm just going to be kind of presenting a lot of information. I want to present. I was talking to Q Butters people over there. Uh, you got Professor Dave, a guy named Professor Dave, which I have looked at before because he does a lot of tutorials on some of the scientific stuff. They're angry at Terrence Howard. We want to look at some of the reason why I think, uh, and the reason why I put on there 1 of 7 with a question mark. See, because the thing is, everybody is real. I know a lot of us think certain things, but right now we are in this time called the last days, or what is called the revelations. We're literally living in this. So a lot of stuff that we thought was going to be kind of magical because Hollywood kind of put that in our head. But actually, what's going to actually happen is these are people. Certain people with certain ideas are going to show up. What's going on, guys? Like I said, this is going to be a packed show with information. You guys can call in sometimes, but really, right now, I want to present a bunch of information, and then we can kind of talk about it. Like I said, I was over there on Cuba the show. We want to touch base. The reason why I said 1 of 7, like I said, make sure you guys share it. Actually, you know what I need to do? I need to share this on my other spot. So hold on a second, guys. I'm going to be sharing. I have to look at this because the way Facebook changed the way they do what they do. So I have to manually go to my page and share it that way. That's how that has to go. And like I said, go to my, hold on, let me turn this on. Share it that way. I don't want the feedback there. But like I said, what have you anybody been keeping up with Terrence Howard? The reason why I think that's actually more important than all of this, the ignorance with politics, all of the Trump and the Biden. That's old. Come on, y'all. We got a new world coming in. We got a new world coming in, a new system coming in. Yeah, and I know a lot of y'all think we got to do something. This thing is coming in by itself. This is just a reality based on the world. We don't have to do nothing but survive. And see, that's the beautiful thing about how this is set up. When a new world comes in, God is the one doing the work. That's just like you saying if it's drought outside, what are we gonna do to stop this drought? Now, true enough, you can use the ingenuity that God gave you, and you can like create, let's say, water systems, or you could create atmospheric stuff to help you, or even try to seed some of the clouds and things like that. But really and truly, to let that rain come through, that's God. That's an act of God. He's going to bring that rain through. He changed that drought just like that. When one system, that's just like saying you're going to bring the night's been going on too long. We need to bring the day in. No, that's not how it works. You just need to know it will come. Just survive. So the period of time that we live in right now is a temporary situation. And we've been given over a long period of time. So this is what Revelation is for, and all these different scriptures. And even if, like I said, you don't believe in I definitely don't believe in the way that scripture has been taught to us, because, we are a people who are descended from enslaved folks. So, if we think the enslaver is going to teach us the religion the correct way, what's going on, James? What's up, James? If we think the enslaver is going to teach us the religion the correct way, we're stupid. But we are stupid. So, some of us think, they're going to teach us the religion in the correct way. And it's like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, if a man won't treat you right, he won't teach you right. He's going to teach you to make it easier for you to listen to him. But we're going to go through some of this Terrence Howard stuff. And what's going on, Leroy? What's up? So we're going to go through some of this Terrence Howard stuff. I'm going to drop the link in a minute, but I do want to drop a couple of things. I want to drop a couple of I was real late because this is actually a lot of research. Oh, shoot, it's a lot. And the thing is, we're going to have to step up. See, this is the reason why these people make our education kind of stupid, because we would question things. We'll question stuff, and they just kind of, because everybody else is doing it, you do it this way too. But I'm surprised that I hadn't heard what Terrence Howard was doing earlier. I had not heard what he was doing. He's been doing this for a while here. He's been on this stuff for quite some time. And so I want to go into some of this here. It's way too much for us to get it all. But I want to connect it to some stuff because, like I said, guys, I put 1 of 7 for a reason. Like I said, the way I believe now, keep in mind, just because I believe something, that I'm not forcing that on everybody else to believe it the way I think. But this is just how I was taught. So I'm going to relay this the way we were taught here. And this is from our messenger, which is Elijah Muhammad. I'm going to put his picture up here because we're going to hear his voice. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. Ooh, where is it? Where is it? Bam. So this is a man here, of course, people laughed at him, which is normal. People are going to laugh. So, like, if laughing at someone kind of makes them kind of mean nothing for you, then, it is what it is. You don't understand, because laughing is just the natural response that people got going on when they don't know how to really handle what someone is teaching or saying. Now, okay, it's one video that I'm missing, but we can get through it without that one. Oh my goodness, it is one video I'm missing. No, I need to have that one. I might have to find it on YouTube because I have it here. But anyway, let's go through some of this here. I put this, and I'm gonna put something. I'm gonna let him talk, and then I'm gonna put something from the Bible on here. 1 second. Let me pull this up. Now listen to what he was teaching. This is in 1972 in Chicago.
And put the tree and cuts hanging off the tree to show you what he do for you in Christianity. He can't do that so easy when you come out of the stars and the moon and the sun. He will get overtaken one day and be slaughtered. He would not be able, out of all the Muslims in the country, he would not be able to kill over 300 before the end of himself would come. That 300 is not from myself, but from the mouth of God. He won't be able to kill over 300 Muslims before they kill all of him. He knows all of it. He's bound to attack us one day. But we have what they call in the Bible 7 angels here with us. And Allah told me he's not enough for one. That one, the 7 of them, all would like to get a hold of him. But he's like a mouse among 7 hungry cats. And there's not a full meal of the mouth for one of these 7 cats.
So I wanted to play that because that's why I put 1 of 7 with a question mark. We don't know. So also I want to show this because he did reference the Bible. So I want people to see, and one of the things about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is, it's all truth is accessible. There's no, don't read this, that kind of talk we never heard. We don't hear that. Now, there's a lot of people that grow up in different systems of worship and understanding that are told, don't read this, don't read that, don't talk to this person, don't talk to that person, don't investigate this, don't investigate that. That's not what we do here. We weren't taught that. We were taught that if you have the truth, you have it now, and you go look at what you want to look at. If you go somewhere else, that's fine. It's no big deal, because then nobody's trying to actually convert you. They're just teaching you the truth. And the truth is going to change your behavior. It doesn't matter what you want to call yourself. It's all good. So that was his mission there. And so the thing is, I want to show what he referenced to. Now, keep in mind, if you're not a believer in Bible, that's fine. You don't have to believe something. If he's teaching you this is something that, I'm noticing. And so we're going to talk about it. It does have something to do with what I heard Terrence Howard say, but I'm kind of setting this up. I'm leaving you a little base here. Now he's also talking about a group of people who he's saying he's not enough. Each of these angels would all like to get a hold to him. So there's a thing called a synagogue of Satan. There's a whole lot of stuff. So we're not going to go into. We're going to keep it step by step. So let's look at this here. Let me see if I can even show. I got to present my screen. Hold on a second. All right. So this is Revelations here. So 16. Now this scriptures is referencing something. Just because you don't know what it means, that don't mean it don't mean anything. It means something to someone. Oh, they just made that up to trick y'all. Y'all need to get these guns and so. Okay, well, that's what you think it needs to be done. To me, I want to understand what people who know how to predict what was that doing, because we've seen it produce fruit many different times in history. All right. And so out of 16 says, and I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth. See, a great voice out of the temple. We don't know who that voice was, but it probably was God. But let's keep going. And the first went out and poured out his vial on the earth, and there fell I don't know what this means. Does that mean noise? I need to look what that means. Oh, wow.
Noisome.
There fell a noisome, having an extremely offensive smell, vapors from the smoldering waste, disagreeable, unpleasant. I thought that was a misspelling, but nope, it means something. There fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast. Ooh. Who's got the mark of the beast? What is it? We have any ideas now of this? But let's keep it moving. Okay, see, the beast has a mark. Who is the beast, though? Who is this beast? We got some clues, but we don't, we got some ideas. All right, and the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man. And every living soul died in the sea. It's a serious thing. Now, is that just figuratively? Is it allegorical? Is it literal? We don't know. I'm just looking. Sometimes you don't make up something when you don't know. You don't know. Just you heard it, and that's it. That's all you know is what it said. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. So the second and the third angel seem like they're working together. This one's the salt water. This one's the fresh water. And I heard the angel of the waters say, thou art righteous, O Lord, which art and wast and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. So these people, whoever is being destroyed, deserves it. For they have shed blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. So basically, since they love killing everybody, they can drink the blood, I guess. They make the water turns into blood. That's what it say. I the way that my mind is working, I don't see how that could happen physically, but there are every situation is everything is born out of a situation. And the reason why I'm saying this is because there's some stuff that was interesting that was said that I didn't, I could see at the time, but because of what's being technology now is showing that this is possible. I see it now, certain things. All right, so the fourth angel poured out his vial. The fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun. That's got to be a serious angel. He can go up to the sun and pour a vial out. Okay. And power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. Wow. And men were scorched with great heat and blasphemed the name of God, which hath power over these plagues. And they repented not to give him glory. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast. This beast is interesting. Who is this? And his kingdom was full of darkness. Now we know darkness is actual dark. You can't see, but it also symbolizes ignorance. You can't see what's true and what's false. And they gnawed their tongues for pain. So they was hurting so bad that all they can do is bite their tongue because it would hurt it that bad. So, and blasphemed the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of kings of the east might be prepared. Now keep in mind, it gives you a location now. So if it's talking about this is that one thing of the sixth angel was done to the king of the east, where was this other stuff being done? I'm going to guess the west. Okay. The sun shall rise in the west. So, okay. Let's keep it moving. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. Interesting. So we got 3 things here. That this one. Now keep in mind, we're taught that these are all people. Okay, the dragon is a group of people. The beast is a group of people. The false prophet. Okay, so see 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of that mouth. So basically, they're coming from there. For they are spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and the whole world, to gather them to battle of that great day of God Almighty. So we know war's coming up. Maybe something to do with this, maybe not. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keep his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. See, a lot of this stuff is symbolic. So, but we, like I said, we got to be careful because we really don't know. But there's symbols in here. So he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. He gathered them together in a place in the Hebrew tongue called Armageddon. And the 7th angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, "It is done." And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth. So mighty an earthquake and so great. Wow. Now the city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. Great Babylon came in remembrance before God to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent, which I don't know what that is, but I'm sure it's heavy. And men blasphemed God because of the plague of the hail. See, there's a lot of people right now, if they'll see this, they will listen to what I just said, and they'll say, "Why would God do that? Why would God kill us?" To me, it's just funny how that, I don't know, I can't say it's funny, but this is what it is. Why would God kill people? Them guns ain't gonna stop that. I don't think no gun's gonna stop a ball of hail and some blood water, bro. But it is what it is. Like I said before, that actually, this is a great and dreadful time, but it's actually a survivable thing. But I mean, you should kind of know what's happening. So the reason why I read that, let me see if I can find it here. I think I was listening here.
Told me that he was like, "Yo, cue this for the long run."
All right, we're gonna play that later, but let me see if I can find out. There. Oh, was it there? It was here. Let me see if it's here. I think it's right there.
To play him. Because remember, in the series, War Machine was supposed to.
Hey, Terrence Howard ain't gonna get no money off of that, bro. He ain't gonna get no money.
This was me speaking.
Yo, Tab, who's the new? Hold on, who's that new person that is at the panel?
Phenomenal, Mammy.
Well, listen to this a little earlier. I was on this show over there with Q Butter for a minute, and we'll see what happened there. But let's listen to what Terrence Howard said here. First of all, there's a lot of black YouTubers who don't have no knowledge. They think they're smart, but they're really not. But you can tell the people who are just coming against someone without even studying, they think it's fun just to argue for no reason. So that's what we're dealing with now with some of these folks. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find something here. Let me see. Let me see if I can see it. I know the let me see. I'm trying to find a certain video. Usually it's everywhere, but now I can't hardly find it. Let me see. Try it one more time. Interview. Oh my God. I don't know if let me see if I can see it on here. I think this is, but let me see.
Coming into being from original man, those things. But yourself and well, speak 16 languages and write 10 of them.
All right, so we may be able to find it on here. It may not be able to, but we're going to try. But I want to, because he kind of tells us what he was taught about this period.
And it is often referred to that the universe was made or created in the three.
Okay, here it is. So let me show this part. See if I can show you guys. Let's listen to this dude though. Hold on.
No, I'm just moving along doing my thing. And she's like, but Robert really wants to go in, but they won't see him. And I was like, I love Robert. I love what he does. I loved him in Weird Science. I loved him.
Who did they want?
They wanted Clive Davis to play him. Because remember, in the series, War Machine was supposed to take over.
Right.
And I'm like, well, if Robert wants to come in,
So he's telling you something about how he was helping out Robert Downey Jr. If you look at the Joe Rogan with him, it's pretty interesting. But this is a reason why I heard something he said here.
Called Avi Arad immediately. He was the producer on it. And I'm like, Avi, I hear Robert wants to come in, but you guys won't even let him audition. He's like, no, we can't bond him. I'm like, instead of the 4.5 you want to give me, why don't you take $1 million for the bond for him if he gets and let him audition, you know? And so he gets the part. Robert is like, I love you, thank you so much, da 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 da. Well, when this other thing happened, I'm calling Robert, and he's doing Sherlock Holmes. I called him 27 times, and I'm like, and leave a message. I'm calling his assistant. I'm like, I need the help I gave you. I didn't hear from him until 3 years later. I bumped into him at Brian Grazier's wedding. And then, but at that time I'd had Empire or whatever, and I came back, and he was like, oh, but everything worked out for you. And, you know, that broke me a little bit, but I know how hard Robert had it.
Coming out of jail.
Coming out of that jail. And so if I had to sacrifice myself in order for that, because guess what? If Euclid or any of them had discovered one of the wave conjugations, they would have been happy. I was given not just the one, I was given the entire electric field and magnetic field and the constitution between them. So I was given so much more. And my wife, when she first saw the mirror all shape, you know, if you open it up, you'll see it's right here. My wife looked at this, the feminine side, because that's all I had really gotten to at that point. And she was like, this is what you'll be remembered for, and your acting will be just a footnote. And, you know, she nursed me back to life because I was angry. I was really angry. And I was going to use all of the knowledge that I had, and I was going to destroy mankind. I was like,
oh my God, right out of Marvel.
I was like, yeah, I was about to, but then.
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
Now I know I'm here.
Now, the thing is, that part right there is what made me say, because I actually have been studying on Terrence Howard just for the last few days here. But that part actually made me say, he was going to destroy mankind because he was so angry. Now, I want to show y'all something else here. Now, this is 6 years ago.
So, you know, I didn't have any training.
Okay. So he's speaking at Oxford. This is prestigious. He's been doing this work for quite a while. And guys, if you want to come up, you can. We're still going to show
Starting a bit late. We're trying to get some stuff loaded up that we won't be able to use, so we're going to do it a little differently now. We're going to do it manually, eye to eye.
They wouldn't let him put his pictures and slides and his actual pictures up. They wouldn't let him do that.
Person to person. I'm Terrence Howard, and I'm so honored to have been invited here to speak at Oxford. Chris is so magnificent. He's been the kindest person, and he's really an angel for you guys because he can bring a ton of people here just with his kind words. How many of you are interested in acting? None. Great. Maybe a couple of y'all. So, you know, I didn't have any training as an actor, right? No? You know, I grew up in a real bad part of Cleveland, Ohio. Wore little girls' dresses for the first 2 years of my life because we didn't have any money for clothes for me. I managed to climb my way out of there by doing a fancy little thing called lying. You know? You guys do any of that? Back in 1986, when I started working in this business, there was no thing called the internet. So when I put my first resume together, since I was trying to go and get jobs, I'd go knock at doors and go and do castings, and nobody would take me seriously because I didn't have an agent and I didn't have a resume. So I put together a 3-page resume of all the projects that I wanted to do. And I put my name on them, starring in all these things, and that was my first resume. And it got me into the door, and as time went on over the last 35 years, I filled up that thing, so it's no more lies on my resume. It's all truth. But it wasn't lies then, it was what I was going to make happen. And that's what I want to say. Most of what you are trying to accomplish today or tomorrow is the same thing you were trying to accomplish 20 years ago. You're the same person that you were then.
I'm listening to all this right now because I don't want to miss. There's a certain part here, and it's going to be. I will probably miss it if I kept skipping through. But he's going to say something that's going to be really quick, and I just want y'all to peep this out. But we're just keeping in mind what he said he was going to destroy all mankind because he was so angry.
If you lose that little spark that kept you motivated, that little piece, like this is my vocation. I love acting half the time, but there's some downfalls of it. You know, a lot of actors end up with personality identity crisis and conflicts because you have so many characters you're playing. And if you really commit to the characters, you become like a piece of clothing. And your body becomes what they put on. And the character has a tendency of wanting to own you. They don't let go. What you saw in Anthony Hopkins and Hannibal Lecter, that monster lives in him. That's why we believed it. He had to tap into something very ugly in our human nature sometimes. And as an actor, sometimes I tap into beautiful things. But like with Lucius, and the character I play with Lucius, his life is filled with turmoil. So 90% of the day I'm walking around carrying his turmoil and also the turmoil from me and my own family. And then how do you have time to, that person, when we get a part of everything in this universe, so if we tap into those things in ourselves and remember those things in ourselves, we have that life trying to figure out. Who in here knows the flower of life?
Okay, this was it. Let me try to go back a little bit right here.
Family as an actor, but that's never been my passion. I was an actor because it was like Jesus walking on water for tips, because he could do it. That's what he did. It was a natural thing for him. I've always been an empath. I've always been emotionally connected to everything. But the thing that I was most spiritually connected to, that was my driving force, was physics. It was wondering how the universe really came to be. And I fell in love with this thing called the flower of life. You guys know Da Vinci? Do you know what he spent most of his life trying to figure out? Who in here knows the flower of life? Couple? I'm gonna get you something. Because I want you guys.
Now, see, he was supposed to have this on his presentation, but later we find out that they wouldn't allow him to use these things. This is the one he would like to present, but this is what he did. He made it happen.
To know.
Do you want me to hold it?
Huh?
Do you want me to hold it? Okay.
No, I'm gonna hold it up. I want you guys to know about a 6,000-year-old secret. 6,000 years, mankind has been trying to decipher this one little thing.
Okay, so that right there is what made me kind of perk up, say, okay, see, they only been trying to decipher it for 6,000 years. And then he said mankind. So why did that make me perk up? Like I said, guys, I'm trying to connect some dots. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely believing. Now, every single solitary thing that he says, no. But yeah, I definitely believe definitely he's already proven himself. So yeah, but the thing is, as far as on his most important things, and we're gonna get to some of the naysayers, because this is the thing. This is the reason why he's over there talking to white people. He's over there talking to white people because he already knows his own people. And the thing is, this is the reason, and it's really not all the way our fault, but he knows us. So, like right now, they're over there on YouTube talking.
You black, right?
Yeah, I'm black.
Crazy about.
Yeah, brother. So let me let you know. It is an embarrassment.
Give him,
that you think
Q,
that
give
one
him
times
5
one is
seconds. Give him
anything other
5
than one.
seconds, Q.
Don't cut him off, mathematics.
Hey, Q.
That's the kind of, he can't get through that kind of thinking. Why would he sit there and try to teach? No, he's already. Let me show you something what this man has done. So it's
Called
6
the flower
years
of
prior.
life.
We're just talking about Terrence Howard. This here is 6 years ago. So he's over here. He's talking to these people at Oxford.
Now, do you know the flower of life?
All right. So that's actually all that I wanted to show. That it's a great question, though. But I do want to show why he's telling the truth, especially about the accuracy of your math. This is how we know. Let me share this screen. And this is what I was over there sharing over there with Q Butter. But these guys, they get really emotional. He got emotional as I don't know what. But I want to share this here with you guys. Let me see if I can put it on the let me put it on here and see if I can actually get it the way you can see it better. This is how easy it is to prove this one part. The 1 times 1 equals 2. This is the thing that everybody's screaming and hollering about. The black people, really. Mostly black people are screaming and hollering about that. 1 times 1 equals 2. It's the easiest thing. But Neil deGrasse Tyson and Professor Dave, I listened to Professor Dave talking about he's debunking Terrence Howard. He wants to get mad because Terrence Howard used the term wave conjugation. as if that was just a linguistic terminology. A conjugation is something that it just mixes. And you can easily look that up on Google. That's nothing. So, but I want to get into some of this. We're going to get into it. I wanted to find this, though, because I'm glad somebody asked that question. Let me see. All right, let's see if I can. I got to get into the studio so I can share this picture with you guys. So hold on for a second, guys. All right. And like I said, guys, you guys can come up too if you want to. If you want to come up, you sure can. But let me see. Now, let me share this here. I drew this just so y'all can see it. Let me see. Right there. I should have had this up here already. There it is right there. So, there it is. So look at this here. Everybody's acting. But let's look at it. Let's look at it. And see, that's the good thing about this. That's why I said it's really good for us to get into it. And because when what's happening here is this. If we are taught, I mean, we're just taking this simple. I was going to explain this later. I think I should explain it after I let y'all listen to what other people have said to me. But I'll explain it right now. Look, you can't act this. They taught us that one. Okay, let me get this one too for you guys. 1 times 1 is 0. Excuse me, 1 times 0 is 0. They taught us any number times 0 is 0, right? And then they also teach you that 1 times 1 is 1. Now, of course, we know that's what we got to do to put on our paperwork to get the correct answer on the paper. But physically, if you get a 1 apple, now the word multiply, let's look at what this thing means. We're just going by what's being told to us. There's something wrong somewhere that needs to be fixed, okay? Something wrong somewhere that needs to be fixed. Let's look at it. So, let me share the screen. And I'm looking at a basic etymology. Now, so the etymology tells us what the word is meant for, not just now, what it's meant for a while. Okay. And see, some people are so bent in. It's just like I said, it's just like religion. Some people, as soon as they hear something that they can't get, they just, I ain't listening to no more of that. And that's fine. But we got to understand that these things, this is what they call revelation. We're living in a world based on falsehood. This here, you should be able to see easily. So let me share this screen. Let me see. Is this the one? Okay. This is the etymology. So this is what this word actually means. This is what it's been meaning. To cause to become many. Cause to increase in number or quantity. From Old French multiplier. Okay. Multiply. Okay. many-fold, many kinds, numerous, multi is more than one. Multiply, multiplying. This is the command that you're being given. So if you take one time, if you have one apple, this is the example I gave. Physically, if you actually go into your room or refrigerator, you pick up an apple, one of them, and let's say you are to multiply this physical thing times 0. Will that thing disappear? You multiplied it times 0. It's not going to disappear. But if you take that apple and then you obey the command of multiply, you will take what you have and then you will reproduce it. You will multiply it one time. You're going to have 2 apples. That's what that should mean, he's saying. Yeah, but we're gonna go through that. I'm just giving everybody simple stuff. This is how simple this is. So when we say, is he acting? Okay, he can be acting, but can't we figure that part out? That wasn't really set up right in their current mathematics. Yeah. And see, because a lot of us are not really taught to critically think of stuff like this. We critically think on politics. We critically think on, all sorts of stuff. So if I want to take 0 apples, right? I have 0 apples. That's what that says. If I have 0 apples, I have nothing. Now I can multiply that by anything. I can multiply, okay, I got 0 apples multiplied by more zeros. It's going to keep giving me zeros, right? Let's say I have 1 apple, and then I do the negative multiply by 1. What does negative means? It means to negate or to subtract. Now I will get a 0 apple. That's what he's saying we should do math like. The reason why he's saying that is because when he puts now let's look at what Terrence Howard is doing. This is why, and I'm gonna play this, guys, just so you know where I'm getting this from. So I was over there on Q Brothers channel.
Give him 5 seconds. Give him 5.
So these guys pretend like they're all into science and all this kind of stuff. So here's me. I called in, and here we go. So the title of his show is basically, let me see. Okay, let me see if I can show y'all this. Here it is. Terrence Howard is dumb. If you believe him, you are dumb as well. That was Q Brothers channel. This is what people believe. They believe this. How could this man be dumb? First of all, even if you don't believe what he's saying exactly, how could you call him dumb? You're calling him dumb. You didn't even know what he's been working on. So, that's kind of weird to me. If you don't know what someone's working on, when you go research what they're saying, even let's say you still don't like his system, but he's saying this is the system that he used to invent the things he's invented. And so this is what I'm saying. So let me look at this here. Let me go here. Just want to show y'all a little bit what this man have already done. So when we're saying acting, now keep in mind, okay, here's the screen sharing. This is his thing called the linchpin. Okay, I mean, this is 3 years ago. He could be acting, he's trying to get attention. How come we didn't hear about it then? Okay, how come we didn't really hear about the Oxford talk? We didn't hear about that. This man ran a competition 3 years ago on who could build this invention that he has patented. So these inventors got together, they built drones based upon the design that he has. And it's based on this thing. If we're talking about he's just acting, he's making some money doing this. People are talking about this man's not going to get no money doing this. He's already got money doing this. He ran this competition. Oh, not that one. Could he be acting? Yeah, he's acting, but he's using his skills to try to get. He's actually speaking to what he actually believes in. So what I'm saying is here, look. So this is what he's doing. I mean, y'all can look at this video. It's really just a competition. So people are going through it, and like I said, I'm trying to catch people up to speed because, like I said, it's a lot of stuff here. It's a lot of stuff. But anyway, he gave a prize. These are the people. These were the judges. These were the judges of the competition. They picked who won, whose designs won. And okay, these are the guys who won the design. He's giving them their prize. Okay.
The frame.
No black people. Why not? So let's say why don't we see? Because see, the trained people, this is how they react.
So flat earth thing, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but one times one is one, bro. Like if you give somebody something one time, he only got it one time. That's it. You know what I mean? So I'm just, I don't know, man. It's kind of messing up, and
So subtraction.
it was
What up,
something thrown.
subtraction?
Please, I think it was something thrown out there just to because this flat Earth thing is on you know what I mean, on an all time high. So I think they try to throw Terrence Howard out there to, you know what I mean, with this shit. They try to throw some
Yo,
extra
bro,
shit
I'm gonna
in
tell you
there,
something,
man.
man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I studied astrophysics under Leon Johnson in a City University bachelorette program. There was only me and two other black people in that program. He was the only one in his program, funded by NASA, right? No black
Right.
people in there. When I took my class, you can look up Charles Liu. Charles Liu is the head of the Hayden Planetarium. He was my professor for 2 years. In that class, I was the only black person. Only black person. Whole class, you had to pay. Move your dumbass boy. You had to pay to go to this class. A lot of money at the Hayden Planetarium. Anybody can look it up, what it costs to take the class outside of being a CUNY student. No black people. So when I hear flat earth shit, it makes perfect sense. Because we're not in the sciences. I was in there studying, busting my ass, getting my ass, because I was fucking with that religious shit still. Clouding my mind. But the reality is, we're not thriving in the sciences. And it's because we are choosing ignorance. We're choosing religion. We're choosing our beliefs. We're choosing all this other shit.
That's just a made up crap that Q Butter is making up. Now, Q Butter has a school, and like I said before, I would be scared to learn because based on the stuff that he talks about, the stuff that he's basically teaching these kids to be slaves to the establishment way of doing everything. Not to critically, you can be critical of everybody else except the establishment. And that's the thing that Terrence Howard has done. That's the reason why he's actually, like, if people even investigated what the man is actually doing, then you would be like, wow, okay. Yeah, you can't take 0 times 1 and get anything. But you can take 1. If you have something, if you take 1, this means this is what you actually have. See, this is the logic behind it. See, this is what I'm saying. Right now, the logic behind what we do now is saying, okay, we have 1, and then we're going to take this 1 times. So we already have 1. It's 1 times, and that's it. So we're just going to have 1. But like I said before, if that was actually true, how now we know that the area of a square is length times width. They teach you that. If 1 times 1 was 1, then you could not have a square. And if you do a square inch square, then you will find that the square root of that, or excuse me, these are 2 triangles. And I made this mistake and they wanted to act crazy over there on Q-Butter's channel. I call it a square, the hypotenuse, but it's the hypotenuse of these 2 triangles. This is 90 degrees. This is 90 degrees on this side, 45 degrees. If you take the hypotenuse of that, it is the square root of 2. You cannot have an area. You cannot tell me 1 multiplied by 1 is the same 1 that you started with physically. Now we know that, in the math that we have now, that's what we're going to use, and we're going to keep doing it because, that's where all of our formulas and stuff like that are worked out of, and everything's kind of based on this, on the 1 times 1 equals 1 thing. But what Terrence is saying, in order to get to really predict how matter and material actually work, your math should be in line with what's actually your logic of your math from this simple, this very simple, example. It's not hard to understand. He's just saying that you got to get your math in line with what's actually happening in the real world. That's the problem. He's saying basically, here's another example. Let me see. And this is why they're mad at Terrence Howard, is because I think these scientists, they were too scared to ask to debate this, because they know this is true. This is throwing all of their calculators off. It's throwing all of their calculations off. And let's look at this here. Let me see if I can show something else. I want to show this too. Let me see if I can do this for you guys. Will this work? Oh, there it is. There it is. Y'all can see this now, I think. Okay, let me see if I can draw on this where y'all can see it. Take this out the way. And let me see if you guys can, hopefully you can see it. So we got a square here. Okay, so I think that's good. You got one square. You got a hypotenuse right in the center of that square. I think that works there. Let me see if y'all can see it. Yeah, y'all can see that. All right, so look, if this is 1, this top part, let's see, that's 1. I don't like that. The paint doesn't let me do that, but we see that you have to have 2 different ones in order, because this line in the middle here will be longer than these 2 lines on the edge. So we know that 1 times 1 cannot equal just 1. It has to be bigger It has to be a larger amount. It increased. That's why you can get an area. You cannot get an area like with one line. Oh, I shouldn't do that. You cannot get an area if this was 1 inch. If this is 1 inch, but this is 0 inches this way, there's no area. That's all you would have. See, so this is 1 times 1 equals 1. Right here, this is how 1 times 1 equals 1 looks. That's the area of nothing. This is 1 times 1 equals 1 inch squared. This means it's 2. It's a greater amount. They just call it inch squared because they didn't want to say it's 2. But that's what it is. It's 2. And you can tell, and it's true because you can fold it in half. He's got, I mean, like I said, this is just a basic thing that he's saying. And if we take 4 quarters, what if you took $1 is 4 quarters? I don't know why this thing is doing this. Maybe it won't work for me. This ain't gonna work. All right, we're done with that one. But if you take $1, it's 4 quarters. Let me do it. I could do it here. Let's do it here. Let's do it. Let's use this calculator. I can show y'all this one here. I mean, I'm just trying to prove some stuff for anybody who cares to actually see. Now we're using a calculator based on, this is standard calculator. So we're using this is, this is what they say. It's true. Here it is. So $1 times $1 equals 1, right? $1 times $1 in their world is 1. But $1 is also equal, So let's look at this. See? Times 4. Sorry. 0.25 times. See? Why did I do this? That's not what I want. I'm trying to get rid of this. Hold on a second. Lord have mercy. Okay, that's what I want. So 0.25, we know times 4 equals 1. Times 1 equals 1, right? So now, but a quarter, 4 quarters equal $1, right? 4 quarters, that's a quarter, 25 times 4. 0.25 is a quarter of $1 times 4 is $1. And $1, they say, times $1 is $1. But 4 quarters, the 4 times 4, which is 4 quarters times 4 is 16 quarters. 16 quarters times 0.25 is $4. So the math is all off. Y'all seen that, right? So look, we're going to do this one more time for y'all. This is a quarter. I have 0.25. Okay. That's the same thing as a quarter. That's 1/4 of a dollar. If I multiply that times 4 pieces, 4 quarters, it equals $1, right? Then if I take this dollar and I multiply it by one more dollar, right? It gives me $1. Now, hold on. Let's do it here. If I take this quarter, no, let's do it this way. And we can do it that way. No, but we're going to do the same thing in a different way. If I took 4 quarters, I'm going to represent this as 4 quarters. And we're going to multiply it by 0.25. So we're not going to lie to ourselves. This is 4 quarters. And we know that equals $1. We know this 4. If I multiply this 1/4 times a quarter, it's going to give me $1. Okay? So we know this is 4 quarters. That's 4 quarters. But if I multiply that 4 quarters times another 4 quarters, it's going to give me 16 quarters. And if I multiply 16 quarters times the 25 times the quarter, I get $4. Right. See, we got to get straight. We need the winds on us. We need them 7 angels to start tearing up stuff first, because that's the only way we got to get separated. And you know that. Why can't we get the church to participate in these after school programs instead of putting up the $13 billion annually? They collect tithing from our communities. They put the money into other folks' bank and they loan the money to real estate developers. They buy up our communities. All that had to be broken up. But see, we have to reject the leadership of the enemy. And right now they leading us. We can't
be cool for everybody else.
See, when somebody presents a simple thing like this is right here is a lie in the mathematics. Now, to a lot of us, we think it's nothing. We've been going this way. This is the problem. These little simple things you have to disconnect from the enemy. You have to have a totally different system from them, but you got to reject it first. So when somebody comes along and they challenge the foundation of where this enemy's, his numbers, that's his money. That's why if you even to change this one little thing, this one time, this little simple to us, we don't even see how big of a deal this is. This is more important than Joe Biden and Trump. Okay. Just this here to get the world to transfer is to not accept 1 times 1 is 1. Do you understand every single timetables has to change. The money has to change. The way it's calculated. Okay. All of your formulas for your triangles, all of that has to change. All of the logarithm formulas, all their pre-calculus formulas, all of those quadratic equation formulas. Okay, this is how they build their world. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, just this little thing, God will destroy you with a flea, with something small. But see, let me play what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said here. I want to play. The messenger said, hold on. Let me get to the right part, because this is something, like I said, we had to kind of we got to be on a certain kind of thought process to even appreciate this. We can't even see it. Hold on. I'm trying to get to the timestamp so I'm not looking at everything. Basically, I'm not going to go to the part because I'll lose it. Basically, he said we gave them the worst. We gave them the worst. See, 1 times 1 equals 1 squared. See, you got to, okay, not just 1. You see what I'm saying? This shape, it tears them up. That's my point to you. You got to change it. It's not just 1. Exactly. So at least you admit that. But we don't want to call it 2. But it is 2. Because to get the square root, to get that hypotenuse, and it is accurate. What is a squared plus b squared equals c squared? And that, so you're square rooting, you're taking the square root of what number? It's 2. That's what's happening there. Now, like I said before, now okay, cubed is a different structure. Right. Right. So now, yeah. And like I said, now what I'm saying to people here, we're not being ignorant and foolish. We know that we're going to still use their system there. But this brother, let me show you. I'm going to show you what the reason why this is important. He's saying that what they're using, it does not reflect the reality. So that way they're plugging in all of the stuff that they're plugging in to their systems to calculation. They're believing their own lies. That's what's happening. They're believing their own lies. It's not true. Let me see here. Do I have it? I don't know if I got it. Darn it. I got so many different little videos that I don't want to. Oh, let me see. It's probably over here. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm trying to keep it smooth, but I don't want to. But like I said before, this is very simple. What this would mean, and okay, so the guy got mad at me. Let me play this here. The dude got mad at me and cussed me out, which is fine. But I wanted to.
But we need to compete.
So indeed.
See, he's thinking about competing, which I understand, and we are competing, but we got to have a section of our people separate from the thought process and from the whole system of this group of people who are hell-bent. When I say hell-bent, I mean that literally. They're hell-bent on driving the world because they're in the driver's seat. They're hell-bent on driving us to death with them. That's what they're hell-bent on. So what? Now, once you understand that, what it's actually 2. Exactly. It's actually 2. So 1 times 1 is actually 2. And the logic behind that is very simple. And like I said, I'm using the apple. If you literally have your apple in your hand, you have 1 apple, then you go out and then you do what this definition tells you to do. And let me find that. Oh my gosh. Hold on. If you do what the definition of the word tells you to do, the word tells you to multiply. That's what it says do. If you do that, this is what multiply means. This is what it means. Right there, it says to cause to become many, cause to increase. It doesn't say to stay the same or to wait till you start multiplying by greater than 1 to get bigger. It don't say that. This is what the word means. So okay. So if you're going to take this particular action 1 time, and you're going to take it at the amount or at the designation of 1, you're going to take 1 multiplied by 1 time. You're going to get another 1, which is 2. If I take 1 and I multiply this 1 times 3, then you will get a 4 because you already have 1. Okay? So if I took my apple, this is the logic, and it works out in reality. if I took my one apple and I multiplied it by 0, which I just basically didn't multiply it, I didn't do anything to it, my apple will not disappear into a 0. It's just going to be there. It's going to sit there as an apple. Now, if I took my apple and I multiplied it by negative, which is a subtraction, which is a reversal, I basically unmultiplied it. I did the opposite. It's not division. It's just the negative. Then it would become a 0. Okay? Because I took it away. So that's kind of the logic he used. This is what he plugged into his systems here. And like I said, let me show you what the man has been able to do with his system of calculation. So with their system of calculation, we got to have dark matter, dark energy. Oh, I'm going to show you something else too. He proved that the universe is more than 13 billion years old. He proved this real easy too. And I'm going to show you something. But let me finish this one because this is, to me, it's the simplest thing to understand. And that's why I think that this is his website. Okay. Okay, you know what? I think I have it here. Hold on, guys. That's his website. But let me find this video that he made. I'm trying to get through this real quick. And like I said, I dropped the link in there. If you guys want to come up, you can easily come up there. You can easily hit the link. It's up there. And if you want to come up, you can come up. If you're not, just chill. But I want to get this. And like I said, when you come through, guys, press the like button for me and just share it. Even if you can't stay for the whole thing. I'm not planning on being very long. If y'all want to come up and talk, we can, but it's fine. But let me find this here if I can. I got to find a video. Because, like I said, to me, this here, and if you listen to him, what he said, once he found this stuff out, he was angry. He was going to destroy mankind. There's something there to that. And I'll play that. We're going to play that now. This is what mankind means.
Been on this earth for hundreds of thousands and millions of years. Then the man he referred to there means you. The man that didn't came with the sun and the moon and stars, he is not referred to as the man. The human made into man, he's called a human man. And not to be called man. Man, period, is you and I. The white man is mankind. And he knows himself to be that. And he refers to himself as mankind. Well, that is in the Bible.
All right, so when I heard him say that for 6,000 years, mankind, for 6,000 years, mankind has been trying to open this thing up. Oh, that's when I said, oh, Terrence is using a specific language. Then when I heard him say,
It's just what it is. Like, we want to launch rockets. You need to know motion. You need to understand quadratic equations. You know what parabolic motion is. Parabolic graphs. These is basics. Every nation on the planet. But when you look to black people, you got millions of black people who do not know what a linear equation is.
okay, so, he's saying some stuff that's kind of true. But let me play why, like I said, I just want for the people who may not have been here earlier, I just want to play why. This is what Terrence said.
But then,
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
Now I know.
He was mad. He was going to
And
destroy.
then, but at that time, I'd had Empire or whatever, and I came back, and he was like, "Oh, but everything worked out for you." And you know, that broke me a little bit, but I know how hard Robert had it
Coming out of jail.
coming out of that jail. And so if I had to sacrifice myself in order for that, because guess what? If Euclid or any of them had discovered one of the wave conjugations, they would have been happy. I was given not just the one, I was given the entire electric field and magnetic field and the constitution between them. So I was given so much more. And my wife, when she first saw the mirror all shape,
Hey,
you know, if you open it up, you'll see it's right here. My wife looked at this.
but you see how that just the considering that 1 times 1 is 2, just realizing like, wow, it actually creates different thoughts and ideas. You see that? Interesting.
The feminine side, because that's all I had really gotten to at that point. And she was like, "This is what you'll be remembered for, and your acting will be just a footnote." And, you know, she nursed me back to life because I was angry. I was really angry. And I was going to use all of the knowledge that I had, and I was going to destroy mankind.
See, if you look when he said that, he bit his lip. He was serious. Terrence Howard was serious. Joe Rogan bust out laughing. But Terrence Howard, he was so angry. He was like, I'm going to kill all of these people. He was mad. Well, well, you know, the thing is, we can get into that. That's a good conversation, I think. Who's the mother of the Son of God? Is Mary, right? One comes from one. From one comes one. Is it from one or is it from two? But there you go. But I just wanted to show that. But let me finish. I'm just all over the place. Let me try to get to where these guys I'll try to get to where I start talking. Okay, here we go. So there's Q Butter. He's talking about we got to compete and make rockets.
You can prove what?
That was super.
Yeah, English language. Like it's kind of messed up with black folk. But the point is, these black folks are doing fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of confused the black community when we trying to do something that's productive. You know what I'm saying? When all we see is our celebrities or our stars doing fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's where black folks is fucked up at. You know what I mean? Because niggas ain't never trying to learn no science or no math or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to learn that shit. Everybody want to see what's on love and hip hop and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? And niggas learning that. Niggas trying to learn the streets. They ain't never been in the streets. And you trying to learn it from the TV. That's stupid. But they don't know it's stupid.
Nah, I'm here with Terrence Howard because I can prove the one times 1 is 2. Easy.
Oh shit!
But go ahead.
Hold on, who's talking? You said you can prove what?
That was super.
Yeah, let him do that.
1 times 1 is 2. Actually, I can prove that easy. That's why he led with that. You can't get an area. You can't get a 1 by 1 inch square with if one. The logic that they tell us
How many squares
that
are
you
there?
do your timetables.
How many squares are there? First of all,
One square.
right. So go.
So
Hey, he thought he made a point there. That don't mean nothing. If I took 12 times 12, it's still going to be one square. It's going to be a 12 by 12 inch square. So, this is what I'm saying. These guys, they just want to follow what's already there. They don't want to actually try to understand what's actually being said and what's happening. But let's listen.
Keep going.
So what's 1 times 1? You say it's 1, right?
No, hold on, brother. I'm gonna be real with you. You got about 5 seconds, man. Cause are you black?
That's Mike.
Yes, and he gonna
Are
mess
you
it
black?
up, bro. You gotta realize something, bro.
Another Mike. Yeah.
That's me.
Are you
Yeah, we
black?
got a couple
You
mics
black,
on.
right?
Yeah, I'm black.
Yeah, brother. So let me let you know. It is an
Give
embarrassment
him,
that you
hey,
think
Q,
that
give
1
him
times
5
1 is
seconds. Give
anything
him
other than
5
1.
seconds, Q.
Don't cut him off, mathematics.
Q, give him 5 seconds
Yo,
though. Give him five.
mathematics. Yo, Matt. Let him run
I
his
want
Hey, look how emotional they're getting, though. But I'm just trying to see when you're dealing with the foundation of what somebody is talking about and what they believe in, it's actually very emotional. Instead of this is a mathematical issue. It's simply a mathematical issue. So it's length of the square times length of the square. It's the length of the square times it's actually supposed to say length times width, but that makes the area of 1 square inch. See, they don't call it 1 because it's not 1. It's a 1 square inch. Square inch. They don't want to say 2. But in order to get, if you take the triangles, there's 2 triangles that are produced when you cut that in half diagonally. See that? And you see how much trouble that's giving you, James? It's very simple, but it's just showing you that like what you've been taught versus the actual logic, they're fighting. This is because for a fact that 1 times 1 cannot just equal the same 1 that you started with. There are 2 different ones here. There's a 1 that takes care of the length, and there's a 1 that takes care of the width. And the area, the formula for the area that's why I wanted to keep this very simple, because it's very easy to see. It's not hard. We've been taught a certain way. And so that's why we're kind of conflicted. But the thing is, it's just like Roman numerals. Just because you've been taught Arabic numbers doesn't mean you don't know some Roman numerals, or just because you've been taught metric, that doesn't mean you don't know the standard standard measurement of weights and stuff like that. It just means that, this is a different system. So that's all this is. But people want to take this as an affront and it's like the end of the world. No, it's not. Well, it is kind of the end of the world, but that's all this is. So yeah, you have to square the 2 in order to get that number. So it's not 1. It's not 1 times 1 is just not accurate physically. This is just what we've been taught. And so we set up our whole number system. We set up everything and we just kind of made it work. But it's not actually the best way. There's another way to do it that's actually in line physically from top to bottom. That's what Terrence is saying. So that's all it is. It doesn't mean that we forget what we've been taught, or nothing, none of that. It's just that, he's just showing you that this is how he was able to predict and calculate the real matter distribution. And let's finish this here.
to hear it. I just want to hear it.
He said he was gonna prove 1 times 1 is 2.
It's
sorry, they're
easy,
not gonna
bro.
teach.
But I know y'all kind of emotional, so.
No. See that trigger shit. I'm beyond emotional because I hate stupidity, and I hate hearing a black man who sounds like he's in his 30s be this
It's
stupid
real.
on the
It's
fucking
no,
internet.
I'm more than
That's why
30,
I'm
bro.
emotional. I care about you, brother, but clearly you don't do carpentry. Clearly you don't do mathematics. Clearly
Dude,
you
I
don't do
work in
physics.
mathematics.
You do not
Hey
work in
Q, let's
mathematics,
hear him.
brother.
Okay.
You do not.
I don't
Q,
have to lie to you. I don't have to lie to
Just give
you.
him that 5
Where do you work?
seconds. Just give him
Where do you
Hey,
5.
if
work in
my
math?
math,
You see how they're making the conversation about different stuff? He's talking about I hate stupidity. You know, I care about you and all of this. So we're just dealing with it's really very simple. It's just a different system of measurement. It's a different system of calculation. So, like, if I was to say, oh, that's 1 meter. No, it's 1 yard. It's 1 yard. It's 1 meter. Yeah, you're a carpenter. So, you know that a square inch is different from 1 inch, right? It has to be square. But you can't get, I also showed you on the calculator how their math is messed up. Just based on $1 versus 1. It's well, yeah, you said there's no confusion, but you're not calculating actual astrophysics. On the level that we're on, we can make all that stuff work. We can make all that stuff work. Okay. Yeah, we can ignore it because we figure ways around it. It is second nature now. So yeah, we don't worry about, oh yeah, 1 times 1 is 0, whatever. That's what they say. But we don't have to worry about the logic of what that actually is saying, okay, because we're on a small level in what we're doing. See, this is why they have this issue with this unified, they have this problem with what they call the macro physics or macro gravity, and then they call it quantum physics. They have a problem with it because their mathematics is slightly off. The logic behind it is off. You're doing 1 times 1 is 1. And that's not actually true. Now, we can just argue of it, but physics doesn't care. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure a few of them build cabinets, but I guarantee you they're not having to use, Pascal, and they're not having to use calculus and just to build a cabinet. They could probably use some trigonometry. They could probably use some sine, cosine, tangents. They can probably use some of those type of things. But, that's it. It's easy. You don't even need to do that. There's a lot of tricks in carpentry and in construction. You don't even have to know how to read a dang on tape measure hardly. There's a lot of little tricks that people use to get around having to do fractions. That's my point. So this is what he's saying. So we say we don't need them, so we don't have to care about it. But the point is, that's the issue. That's what he's saying. He's starting that conversation. But let me finish. Let's listen to some more of this guy.
Mathematics is wrong, then
Where do you
houses
work in
burn up,
mathematics at?
transformers burn down.
Where do you work in mathematics?
I'm an electrician. I work in refinery. I do, hydraulic systems. I do your electricity in your homes. I do your electricity in your transformers and your city power. So I know what I'm talking about, brother. I mean, I know that, like I said, this is real.
One mic.
I can easily show you what Terrence is talking about. But like I said, excuse me.
Do it in
Say it
5
again.
seconds.
Electrician,
Man, we got a
hydraulics.
full panel, yo. We're gonna
Okay, well, yeah.
My fault, bro. I just want to hear it.
No. Listen, they teach us in mathematics, if we multiply 1 times another 1, it equals a single 1.
Hold on a second. I want to put this up though. I don't know if we can show it. I might have to show it. I want to show this why it was talking, but maybe it won't work. Don't worry about it. All right. Hold on a second. I messed up.
What Terrence is saying is, if, for example, if you have an apple, you can grab an apple. If you multiply the word multiply, this is a command, it's an act. Look up the definition of it. If you multiply the apple, it doesn't, you have to add another apple to it. If you don't multiply the apple, or if you multiply the apple by 0, the apple doesn't disappear.
You can't multiply.
What he's saying. Let me tell you what he's saying. Now, keep in mind, our standard model of mathematics doesn't disappear just because Terrence is introducing a system of calculation. It's just a different system of calculation.
It is
and y'all getting bent out of shape. And what he's saying, is the logic is off.
All right, so the logic that you're saying is off. Since you work in units, units. What do they sell units of energy in?
They sell units of energy. I don't know. What are you talking about? I mean, are you talking about?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what they're selling units of energy in. Yeah, so I don't sell energy.
Yo. You said you're an electrician, right?
Yeah, I am.
So units of energy.
There's a lot of units of energy. Are you talking about volts? Are you talking about, are you talking about amperes? Are you talking about kilovolt amps?
That's not how they
KVAs? What are you talking about? I don't sell energy. I'm an electrician.
I said units of energy. So I just use it.
Okay, well, I mean, you got joules. You got a lot.
Yeah, you're right. It's watts. It's kilovolt. It's kilowatts. They sell it in kilowatts, but he looked it up on the internet and what he's trying to do is he's playing debate games. Instead of explaining this, instead of simply explaining the example, he's playing debate games. Now, if you can't grab a length, it's imaginary. Now, keep in mind, no one's ever seen an actual number 1. These are just systems of calculation that we use. They work because we're supposed to model our systems of calculation off the universe. So that's why it kind of works. So 1, and then we have a 2, and that means this, and then the word 3. I mean, the 8, the Spanish people say, uno, dos, tres, okay? And we kind of come up with some of the similar stuff. The Chinese people have a different way of doing division. Indians have various methods. They're very good at math. The abacus. So people get bent out of shape. The Egyptians had a different way of doing division. Okay, so kilowatts per hour, not just kilowatts. That's fine. But he didn't care. Yeah, he didn't care. Really, yeah. The issue was him just he didn't want to deal with the issue.
A lot of kind of energy, brother. So when you say energy, that could be electricity, that can be pressure.
Bro, I don't know where you live.
Nah, man, y'all could play. You see, this is how I know y'all wrong. Because I know for a fact I'm an electrician. I get paid every day. But if y'all want to slow down, just use.
Yo, bro. I don't know you. So there's no emotions towards you. I don't give a fuck about you. You can disappear right now. I wouldn't give a rat's ass. So the trigger shit don't work. You can kick rocks right now. Honestly, I don't believe shit you saying, and the shit you saying ain't adding up. So you just said 1 times 1 equals something different. I don't know where you're using this at in syntax of math. I don't know what mathematics teacher you had. It's not adding up. It's not producing anything. Where you're going. Terrence Howard does not have a system of calculations. It is his ignorance that he has because he does not understand the syntax of mathematics. You have 1 unit, 1 amount, and that amount has a quantity. How many of those quantities do you have? It's simple.
1.
I don't know where you are. That's it. If you don't understand,
you got 1.
This is not the platform for you. It's just that simple. There's plenty
Hey,
of black
bro,
people out there that are grifting derelictism, and you sound like somebody who's prepared to be grifted on. I'm just
it's
letting you
almost
know,
like
that.
you can't multiply one without dividing, bro. Like you gotta you can't get more out of one.
So I just want to make
There's
sure he
no
understands what I
more
just
than
said.
one.
You
All
call
you
this
have
more
is
power.
one. You see what I'm saying?
I want you to
All you
repeat what I
have
said.
is one.
Hold on one second.
The only way you can get more
Yo,
out of that one is
mathematic.
if
Hold
Just
you
on, hold on.
divide it up.
Matt, hold on, bro.
What's what is the formula for area?
Well,
What is it?
depending on what the
The
formula for
formula
area.
for area, the
Hold on,
basic
brother,
formula
brother,
for
brother,
area
brother,
of
brother.
a square.
Thank you.
3.14.
Area
Go
of a
ahead.
square or a rectangle.
3.14.
Length
Go ahead.
times width, bro. Come on.
Okay, so if the length is 1,
Hold on, no. Hold on. Let's forget
okay.
about length times width. If we change the number 1, what about direct variation? What does that does?
Listen, I'm trying to keep it simple.
No, we're not keeping it simple. We don't do most people over
You
here.
No,
gonna
because you see how he's trying to get away from what's actually being talked about? He's talking about variation and variables, which is he's talking about that's all it is just the X and the Y's and the Z's. But you know, we're Terrence Howard's supposed to come at this stuff. You know, we don't even now. This is what I want y'all to see. This is what.
Let me share it.
Hold on. Now,
I'm spinning tornado.
so this here is the These are the same modeling programs that they use to model stars, astrophysicists and stuff like that, and different things. So this is what he's using. It's not an animation. And the people who use this type of program, they recognize this program.
Tornadoes that are pointing towards the center. As I highlight this object here, you'll see it, that yellow line, right? So there's a bunch of those in there. There's actually 16 of them, and I'll highlight them all.
So this is his invention called the linchpin. I mean, this is what he's invented, using his calculations.
There. I'll render that just so you can kind of see a little bit better. So they're all pointed towards the center, but they're arranged in what we call the linchpin configuration. I'm going to pretend like you never heard of that before. So there's one on the top, and then 3 in groups of 3 around that are spaced at 120 degrees apart. And the tilt of these ones on the bottom here is 109.5 degrees in relationship to the top ones that are creating this flat space on the top and the bottom. And they're spaced at 120 degrees radially. And then inside the model is 3 groups of particle systems with known masses up to 1,000 pounds, from 2.2 pounds to 1,000 pounds. And there's no gravity whatsoever in this model. There's no center attractor. So it's just vortexes and two magnetic fields, a north and a south polarity, and 1 harmonic resonance, which is emulating a vibration in the field in this region here where these vortexes are pointed. So it kind of just oscillates to give it a little bit of randomness in motion so that the particles will kind of interact and bounce around like smoke.
So basically, they got this model. They can program it. They put a harmonic resonance, which is a note. It's just basically a note or a sound. They put that in there. Well, you'd be surprised. Like I said, he's already had his competition where they're already buying his stuff. So, then I don't know. Did you see the Joe Rogan look at him on Joe Rogan? I mean, he lays out his inventions. He's not worried about, he's way past this point. We're like at the debate stage. He was past that 6 years ago. He's already creating inventions. He's already creating inventions
which are selling, which are being applied to military uses. So, yeah. But now he's doing the commercial stuff. I'm sure the military already's got a lot of the stuff that he's got, but even the AR VR stuff. But this here is just showing this is public, and what I'm saying here is it's actually a blessing to me. It's good that this information is being publicly debated, because this stuff, like, people don't even they're not even understanding that you can make a better system of calculating things. That didn't even cross their mind, like, oh, there's a better mathematical way to do stuff.
Or water, waves and water. And then when I hit play, it does it all by itself using physics simulations. So there's no animations at all in this model. And when I play it, this is what pops out.
Wow.
And then when I look down at the top, it makes the actual hexagon that NASA has observed on the top of Saturn without any gravity. And you'll see that you get a surface of the sphere on the inside with the heavier particles. So the colors...
Are you basically saying, is this saying that you guys can recreate planets?
Yes, this is a particle simulation of the physics involved in making up the planet Saturn.
Wow.
Like all the... Yeah. So the heavier particles are creating the red and the...
See, a lot of people don't understand, like I said, the people who know, that's the reason why he was sitting up there in Oxford talking. It's because they know, oh, this guy is doing something serious. And even though the regular people know him as an actor, they're laughing at him. We realize, because they know what programs they use at the high level and what modeling systems. See, they're trying to predict the distribution of matter, okay, so that they can understand where stuff would be, and when they go and doing space missions and other things too. But this is that, to me, that's a big deal. And also, like you say, you can look at the actual planet Saturn. So when you got people over here on YouTube talking about, oh, he's not smart, he's dumb, it's
we're talking about 1 times 1, aren't we?
I'm asking you 1 times 1, what does that mean for coefficients with variables that do not have a leading coefficient?
Okay. Listen, I'm going to say it this way. We're talking about 1 times 1.
And that is based off
and
of
that's
1 times
it.
1.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying,
clearly,
if you have
you
a
do not-
length of 1
All right. So
and a width of 1,
yes. So in direct variation,
what is the area?
yes, in direct variation, you have 1 is the fundamental of all measurements. I don't understand what you're saying, because
I'm
it's
saying,
not
if
adding up
you
to
have
math.
a length of 1
If you have 1
and a
length
width
of 1,
of 1,
if you have 1 length of 1, right? This is why it's called a squared area. This is why I know that you have never ordered a banner or anything, because you have a squared area, you square footage. I don't understand what you're saying. This is
I'm
clearly
showing
somebody,
you what I'm
you
saying.
do not go to Home Depot. You clearly
I'm
don't know what
showing
you're
you.
Have you ever bought floors?
What is the hypotenuse of this square?
What hypotenuse
Yo,
of
can
this
I
square?
Excuse me, the hypotenuse of these two triangles.
No, brother, excuse me, hold on. Before anybody gets in, at this point, you have said enough to let me know that you do not know what you're talking about. And I
I'm
want you to
showing you
know.
what I'm talking about.
And I know, and I'm just being clear with you. You can say after this, but in the responses, right? The coefficient of any variable, when it doesn't have a number, is 1. If you change that number 1 from meaning anything times 1, you change all equations.
The
all
whole
equations in
thing.
math.
So what he's saying is just because if we were to understand that 1 times 1 is actually 2 in actual physical reality, then we have to change all our stuff. And that's basically saying it's too hard to change everything. We need to keep it the way it is. Okay, but the point is, you don't really have to change everything. You can still do, it's like I said, it's with metric and with standard measurement. Metric is actually a more efficient way, but America and the West just refuse to teach metric. The whole world is on metric. It's working fine. It's much easier to convert things. You know, you can go from grams to meters. You go from meters. In the whole education, people would literally have the measurements locked into their mind. You know, instead of a inch, you thinking about a centimeter. You're not thinking about a mil or an inch mil and all that crap. Okay, no, and what I'm saying, it should be more like this. This is the actual. It should be this. That's it. That's what it should be. See, 0 should do nothing. That X is just an X. And actually, if you say 0, if you actually put that in front of it, it should be 0. It should be 0 X's. Actually, should scratch that. It should be 0. Sorry. That's what it should be. Yeah. But the thing is, though, you know, like I said, you know, you can redo it. It's very doable. He's just mad because everything would have to change.
The whole
All
thing.
equations.
Thank you.
So if you're prepared to show me
So I'm
Thank you.
asking you a question. So you're explaining to me something, but I'm just asking you this: if the one side times the other one side is just 1,
you have 1
how
square
can
inch.
how can the square root of 2?
No. You see, no. You see how you see,
You
you went
go
all the way
ahead,
off.
bro.
When you're
Hey,
looking at
Q, can I say something, bro? Can I
Hey,
say
y'all
something,
can
bro?
do this. Y'all can do this yourself. You can do it
Before you go,
yourself.
before we go there, right? Before we go there, the square roots, that is a complete different conversation. You just went from the square of a
Okay.
of an
All right.
object
So that's all
to
he's
square.
saying. He's
I just
saying
want you
that
to know.
it's just a better way to do it. And
There's
you
nothing that he
can
prescribed.
There
When
is
you're
no
saying
better
a
way,
better
yo.
way,
Nah,
you have to talk about the
because
fundamentals of math. And right
well,
now, clearly you do not know that. So what you saying
okay.
you're
Well, I mean, like I
pushing
said, I mean,
the
you
power,
can say
you
it's
might
your
be somebody
channel.
that you can pick
Like I
up
said,
on
it's your
top.
channel,
Okay,
so you are the
emotional.
boss. I
All right,
can't argue
emotional.
with you
You're not
effectively on your own
arguing. You're
channel.
speaking.
Okay,
But
hey,
emotional.
no,
so
Hey,
hey,
this
run
is
it down,
that's
yo.
you. But I'm
hey, no,
saying
hey,
that
look.
it doesn't disappear. One multiplied. See, we're talking about the command to
No,
multiply.
one can't multiply itself. It's like
Okay.
yourself. Think about yourself. Think about
Hold
you
on.
as one
Slow
So
down,
person.
mathematics,
yo.
it's
We have
cool.
How do you
slow
multiply
down.
yourself
We have
That's
to
why
without
I
Okay.
said
cloning? And even if you clone yourself, that is
Okay.
not two.
Mathematics.
Okay.
Sometimes you have people that just trying to go against the grain,
No,
and he's one of
I'm
the.
showing you what
Hold on,
he's talking about. I'm not going against the grain.
bro. Can you
I'm
let me
not.
speak, bro? Can you let me speak? I haven't been speaking over you, and you're sounding real idiotic right now.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
click, yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
really not the one you want to go down this road with.
And I don't even
All
like
right.
to
I
say your
showed
like
So
y'all.
that. I
Y'all
agree
been
with it,
debunked,
so
and
chill
I'm
out.
getting off because y'all getting all emotional. Hey, listen, you getting really emotional with y'all because y'all can't disprove the facts. So I'll be gone, and y'all keep working it out.
Nobody, no, you don't have to
Y'all will
go
be doing
nowhere.
this math
All
in
you
about
have to
10
do is
years.
let people speak. All you have to do is let people speak.
Hold on,
You
bro. You
talked.
got out of here. Look, honestly, they getting. That's why.
So 1 inch times 1 inch equals 2.5 centimeters times 2.5 centimeters. I'll try to tell you. See, James. See, James, that's why I said that's the reason why Terrence Howard has opened up a big can of worms. That's why these people are mad. They were too lazy to fix this. And so they were throwing off all of the models. They were throwing everybody off because they didn't want to change the all of the stuff. Now, like I did this earlier. I don't know if you've seen it. It's real simple. I showed people $1. We're thinking of money now. $1. You see how the money is off worse. $1 times $1. It's supposed to be $1. That's what they say. So, we know that's wrong. Well, I mean, that's what they say. $1 times $1 is $1. But 0.25 is $1 too, right? Is a quarter of a dollar. And we're going to verify 0.25 times 4 quarters is $1. And we're going to multiply this $1 times $1. It equals $1. But if I take this 0.25, okay, so if I do it this way, though, it's the same actions, but you got to do, that's why they have order of operations and stuff. 4 quarters times 4 quarters will equal 16 quarters. And then this 16 quarters is what? That's $4. So, and I know people saying, oh, you did it wrong and all that kind of thing, which we understand. But what's happening is the reason why it's wrong is because everything is off. And instead of taking the time to get the money in line with reality, to get the systems of measurement in line with reality, they want us to do all these different orders and operations and leaps and bounds, to try to cover up their laziness and stuff. This is the reason why they could not. They're sitting up here wondering why they can't predict certain large numbers and why there's a gap between quantum physics and macro physics. You see what I'm saying? It's just, and to me that square is the easiest example of it. You should easily be able to see. You can call this anything, but you cannot have a 1 by a 1 and this be this, and these add together or multiply together by the same quantity. You're going to be off. You're confusing yourself. An inch is how many centimeters? 2.5. And that's an estimation too. 2.5 centimeters. So if I put 2.5 centimeters times 2.5 centimeters, that gives me 625. Excuse me, it'd be 6.25 centimeters, right? And then I take, I can take the square root of 2.5, which is the same 625, and then add, and then do. Excuse me, I could take the exponent. I could take by second exponent. I can square both sides and then divide that answer by, not divide, but put a square root on that answer, and I'll get the middle. I'll get the bisector. So, like I said, they could take a little time to get some of this math in order, and then you won't have all these arguments, people going crazy. And people calling someone dumb because it's just not telling the truth. And really, it shouldn't be that emotional. It's just mathematics. Come on, it's just some mathematics that could get done better. That's all. I don't see why people would lose friends and curse everyone out over something like that. But the reason why they would get angry is because of this, I think. Let me see.
The strange.
No, I think I don't got time to show that one. I think they would get angry because that's going to mean, oh, we got to change the money. We got to change everything. If people demand that, you're going to change everything. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I think I've talked long enough. I have more stuff. I think I want to show this though before I leave. Okay. Yeah, I want to show this. So we know the definition of multiply. Terrence Howard, like I told people, this man, people's talking about how stupid he is. I mean, he's already got inventions, military grade stuff. That's not what I wanted.
During the 2024 total solar eclipse, I captured something I haven't been able to identify. See if you can see it.
Running out! Oh, baby,
Did you see it? Let's back it up and play it again. Focus on this band of the sky right here. What is this? And what is this?
Seeing the UFOs. I've seen those too. Even though that's not what they're trying to distract me, because that's not really what I was looking for. That's not what I was looking for there.
In the best possible world. And just thank y'all. Y'all have no idea what it means to
surpass 25,000 because you said sharing the prize money. It doesn't mean to split the...
Yeah, no. Everybody would get 25 grand for what they turned in and what was accomplished. That's the reality. And if you guys are able to accomplish this on your own, can you imagine if we all work together? There's the future of the linchpin now. There will be the military applications of it. That's just, you can't get around that. I have meetings with the Department of Defense next week because of it. But then there's the commercial aspect of it, the hobbyist aspect of it, which we have the spherical linchpins to accomplish that.
So with these things, basically, he's just showing how, I don't know if you even watched the Joe Rogan thing, but he basically had this competition.
It must inherently dampen some of its own vibration.
So he had this competition where these people made these drones, right? So the first little idea to use his structure was to create these drones. What this does is they connect all together. This here, let me see if I can even show it. I don't know. Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah, the linchpin bonding. I think it'll be, well, there's three of them. Yes, that one right there. Now, before we play it, if you count the struts and watch how many struts bond as it becomes this right here. Okay. And just count it as it goes. Just let it play. You'll see 1, 2.
Yeah, I'm not trying to watch all that. Anyway, I think it was one more thing that I wanted to play before I cut it off. But I think it's something to look at. It's a development. This is, let me show.
5 seconds. I up right now for the stupidity.
Yeah. And these guys are idiots, but all right, so that was that. But then there's another part.
6 inches a year. The Earth has been moving away from the sun.
This is another part that's actually
70% of it is dark energy, and 20-something% of it is dark matter. Unperceivable things, and they say that's because they needed to figure out how would they get the spin and create and have the
other, and it's all that we see is this foam that's about to disappear, but this has been lasting for hundreds of trillions.
You know what? I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna play this, but then we'll go into this. I'll go into this probably tomorrow because I don't want this video to get too long. This by itself is another thing. They're saying that the universe is like 14 billion years old, but he's shown something that proves that it's actually trillions of years old.
Billions of years. I'll say this last thing, just because I know somebody's going to take offense to what I just said there. They say our universe is 13.7 billion years old.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our Earth moves away from the sun at 6 inches a year. The Earth has been moving away from the sun since the moment that it formed. That means every 10,560 years, the Earth moves 1 mile away from the sun. In order for the Earth to be 93 million miles away from the sun, that means the Earth would have moved 982 billion, 80 million years. It would take 982 billion, 80 million years in order for the Earth to reach 93 million miles away from the sun. Well, that means that's linearly. If you just added 6 inches a year, but wait a minute, well, how then did the Earth, they say the Earth is only 4.6 billion years old. Well, that means that it would only have moved about 341,000 miles since its creation. Now, the Big Bang happening 13.7 billion years ago means that at the moment of the Big Bang, the Earth was 91 million miles away from the sun already, which doesn't explain Jupiter or Mars at 143 or 40-something million miles away from the sun. It would take 1,549 billion years for Mars to get to where it's at. It would take 5 trillion years linearly for Jupiter to be where it's at. And the furthest planet away from us, Neptune, you're talking 29 trillion years at a similar rate to 6 inches a year. And they say that our Earth the universe is 13.7 billion years old.
So throw all the science classes away, basically.
I'm saying just take a look and add it up yourself.
So anyway, I think that's it, guys. And that was pretty good. I think we had some good participation in there. And, like I said, anybody who's seeing this afterwards, let me know what you think about it. Like I said, I think that's topic is actually more important. He has the technology to partition the atmosphere.
The hexagon is, and those are the heavier ones created.
See that hexagon? This is right here what they have been trying to figure out how this gets done. They have been trying to figure out how this gets done. Oh, let me see if I see it. Yeah, we're going. Oh, this here. See, this is Jupiter. This is Saturn.
It's springtime on Saturn, and the hexagon is out.
You see that? This is what they didn't understand. How is this thing being partitioned and it's making those cuts in the atmosphere like as if something's there, like a wall is there or something. So they didn't understand that. And this video is, I don't know how old it is. But anyway, but now you see he's explained that. But he has that ability to recreate that for real. So that means you can contain one atmosphere inside of a contained field, which means you could create an explosion that doesn't pass a certain area. And it stay like you can, like across the street exploded and it was a nuclear explosion, but you know it didn't get to this side of the street. It just stayed over there. That, you know, it can be just a hexagon. It can be contained. So, and he has some stuff, some patents like that with water. So, yeah. So anyway, that's the reason why I put the title the way I put it. You guys let me know what you think. This is Super Mike. Peace out.